Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. All right, my next guest comes to us from our Chief Marketing Officer, Todd Sanoga, Jack Stewart. He has got a phenomenal record with a proprietary trading system he's been using. Jack, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you today, Michael?
I'm doing great. I'm glad that you're here. Let's back up just a second and you tell us, the audience, how you got into the business, what you're doing now, and then as a contributing editor of Stocks to Watch, what we're going to be looking at and why you chose the different stocks you're bringing to the show, okay?
Well, after I left University of Notre Dame, I owed the Navy 3 years as a supply officer. And when I finished that, I took a job with Dean Witter and Company in Los Angeles. And they had just opened a new office in Westwood, California, where I had my first home, an apartment. And so I was really happy when they hired me. So 6 months of training, and then I'm out there being a broker, where we used to actually advise clients on what they ought to have in their portfolio. Anyway, many years later, I began to be captured by the potential of day trading. And you know, Michael, that took a lot longer than I thought. Yeah. About 5.5 years with over 10,000 trades in actual accounts and some simulated accounts. And then I think I've come up with something that's pretty good, which I call my gap and go trading robot.
Okay.
So that's where that's a big span of about 50 years. I've been trading and investing in the markets about 50 years, so I've learned a thing or two, but I'm still learning.
All right, well, as we all are. Now, let's drill down in here. You've given us some great stocks to watch. What are we going to be looking at today? I think the first one, is Real Good Solar, right?
Right. Now, I call them stocks worth watching, and the term worth watching comes from many of the day trading chat rooms that I visited. And what we do is give each other shorthand, and we'd say RGSE, which is the ticker symbol, and then just simply WW, worth watching. And so that means, okay, so for example, Canal Desai just said RGSE WW. Let me bring that chart up. And then, presumably we know why we're watching it, and it's on our radar. So Real Good Solar, yeah, all that did today was triple. That's all it did.
Yeah.
300%. So it closed at 82 cents, and today was as high as 293, and it had a good reason, Michael.
What is it?
They're in the solar business, and now overnight they're competing with Elon Musk. Your Tesla discussion yesterday, the founder was Elon, but he also has a solar company. And they are the hottest thing around with their rooftop shingles. Now all of a sudden, little tiny RGSE is competing with them because they got Dow Chemical as a partner today. That was the announcement. That's what all the excitement's about.
Okay, now that's a good long-term partner. What are they doing with Dow? Did they give them money, or are they moving them through contracts and introducing them to their clients?
It's almost being like on Shark Tank and getting Dow so they open all the doors for them, number one.
Right. They
make available all their research facilities, number two, which is huge for a little company like RGSE. And then thirdly, they've developed a lot of technology and on their own, which is proprietary.
Right.
So they combine two people that have been working in a proprietary space with solar shingles, put them together, you got something pretty good to watch.
Yeah, you certainly do, especially when it goes from an open of 83 cents a share yesterday
to $3.25. Yeah, that wasn't bad.
You're right, $2.58 right now. So chances are this thing is definitely something to watch, and there could be some long-term growth there. All right, the next one that you brought is that...
Let me give you the next one, which I think is really interesting just from this viewpoint. Everybody's looking at healthcare these days. Are the Republicans going to come back with a new, let's see if they can sink this Obamacare and put up something new? Well, behind all of that is what's happening. We saw a change when we started going to our doctors a while back. Everything's on their computer. So it's all about medical records and the cloud. And there's a company called Medical Transcription Billing, which I honestly had never heard of before today. Ticker symbol MTBC. They're up about 200% for the year. They're up about 40% today. And it's because they've got a new cloud-based prescription method for doctors for their records. And they're calling it, let's see what they call it. Anyway, they got a proprietary name for it. And they just signed up doctors in 42 states, they announced yesterday.
Wow.
So 42 out of 50, that's not bad to start.
No, not at all. And considering the stock was trading as low as 29 cents back in, let me see here, April, April 24th, and now all of a sudden there's some volume picking up. And then this huge move, let's see, what was it, day before yesterday? I think it was started trading somewhere around $1.51, and now it's $3.18 right this second with a high of $5.44 today.
Not bad, right?
No, that's some pretty good moves. So is this something that came out from Gap and Go?
Yeah, I spotted that. I put up a list of all the stocks that gap up in the morning, and then I have a little scan on it, called Continuing to Run. And so I will look at those. I didn't make a real good trade in my Gap and Go robot on that one, but I did have a pretty fabulous other one today. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the third one that's really exciting.
We got about a minute and a half left, so okay. I just want to let you know.
Here's an old favorite, Fuel Cell. You remember from the alternative energy days?
Yep.
This thing used to be a real runner, and it was on everybody's radar, and then it dropped off. Well, put it back on because Oppenheimer just initiated a coverage today, outperformed the market with a target of $4. Well, whoa, wait a minute. Stock's trading at 88 cents, and they're putting a $4 target, so it ran today from 88 cents all the way up to $2.49, and theory is it's probably got more to go because they got this target on it. And
you mean $1.81? Because I'm looking at my chart.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get that clear. Okay, it's above all the averages that I have. MACDs are pushing forward, and the volume's increasing. So we got about a minute left. Let me turn it back to you about last minutes on Fuel Cell.
Okay, well, here's another thing I like. There's a genius called Joel Chaikin, who's operated in the technical side of the marketplace for many years, and he came up with an oscillator. And I find that it works very well on weekly charts. So if you go to Fuel Cell, ticker symbol again, FCEL, I'm putting it up on my TradeStation account right now.
Jack, we've got to wrap it up real quick. Contact information for you.
You know what? For now, I'm developing a website, but for now, why don't you just go to my blog. It's Action Jackson, spelled like a California license plate.
Great. You've been listening to CEO Money. Michael Yorba, your host. We'll be back tomorrow with more great content. Thanks for joining us.